Hello. It wouldn't be a technical event without a technical hitch or two. I'm Matt. I'm here from London, and thank you so much for the invitation. It's really wonderful to be here. That's me on Twitter at Genmon and our website bergcloud.com. I wanted to share with you two stories today. One is about my company BERG, and the other is about what's going on in London at the moment. And maybe when you hear the stories, there are some interesting lessons for you too. But I thought before I tell these stories, I would show you a product we tried to make back in 2006. This product is a failure. It never got to market. But I love it dearly anyway, and I really wish we'd been able to make it. But let me show you this. It's called Availabot. There it is. Here's another picture. What this is a little puppet. It's 3D printed to look like one of your friends. And it connects to instant messaging, to Yahoo Instant Messenger or AOL, to show you when they're online and available to speak with you. So it represents their availability to talk. Let me show you how it works. So here is one of my friends plugged into the computer, plugged in by USB. And here they are on IM, and they're online, and they go offline. Falls over. See if you can guess what happens. There. We thought we would be billionaires. It didn't come to market in the end. It was a shame. But for me, what this technology is about is it's the possibility of connecting people using technology to create a feeling of togetherness for families and groups of close friends. And wanting to create that feeling has never left me. In between 2006 and 2013, BERG was a design consultancy. This is a view into our studio. And we worked for all kinds of companies. We made video phone prototypes with Google, smart TV, computer vision with Samsung. We've worked with Panasonic. We made the first digital magazine for iPad. We're working mainly with technology and media companies. But through all this time, the idea that we could make the web physical, to create the Internet of Things, to create this social feeling of togetherness, really stuck with me. I always wanted to create that. And I have to say, this is my view now, is that this potential of connecting products to the Internet, it's electrification. The last time this happened was the beginning of the 20th century, when every product got changed with electricity. Products changed and upgraded, and new products invented. And the network getting inside products now is the 21st century equivalent of electrification. It's that big. It's a big vision. Who knows what it means? But for me, this view came to me in a flash, in a single moment in 2011, when I saw this. It's a dead dog in a box. This is what we do in the UK for fun. My experience with this dog is what made me think that the Internet of Things would be important. I'll tell you why. This dog is called Station Jim. Station Jim, about 100 years ago, was in a railway station in West London, and he would raise money for charity. He would do tricks. So you would talk to Station Jim, and he would bark on command, and you would give him a coin. Or he would stand on a ladder, and you would give him a coin. There was no television or video games. That's what people had to do. And so many people loved Station Jim, and they loved him so much that when he died, they stuffed him and put him in a box and left him on the platform of the train station. Now, this is weird. It's a very strange thing for any country to do this to a dog. So like any normal person in the 21st century, the first thing I did when I saw Station Jim was I told my friends on Twitter. So that's me, at Genmon. So Slough Railway Station has an ancient taxidermy dog in the glass box. He's called Station Jim. He's on platform 5. Imagine my surprise 2 minutes later when I received this from @StationJim. It's okay for you to laugh. You're on the better side of the glass. So now I'm really scared. I'm standing there in front of a 100-year-old dog. And please, the train needs to come soon and take me back to London. And the dog compliments my shoes. You be tatty too. And he starts calling me a cheeky git. We're having an argument now with a dead dog in a box somewhere in West London that's been there for over 100 years. And it was magical. I think new experiences are rare. New experiences don't happen very much. And this experience of the world coming to life and speaking back to me made me realize that one day this is what everything would be like. We had to somehow capture this feeling and bring all our products to life in order to create this feeling again. Not so much of dead dogs, but of the world speaking. So we came back to the studio and started work on our first connected product. This is our first connected product. It's called Little Printer. So let me play the video while I tell you what it does. So Little Printer is a very small web-connected receipt printer. You know, receipts like you get in shops. It doesn't connect to a PC. It's not like a regular printer. You don't print out from your computer or from your smartphone. What you do instead is you subscribe to little snippets of content. You subscribe to news headlines, or to the weather, or to whether the metro is working this morning. There are puzzles. There are little things which are personalized, so you can see when your friends have birthdays. And when we brought out this video in December 2011, it was very popular. We got 1 million views in 2 days. And we didn't realize at the time we wanted to make this product. So the video for us said, go ahead and make this. People really want to buy this device. Because it's a weird device, right? A printer that you can't print to, one that has subscriptions instead. At the time we created that video, this is what Little Printer looked like. It's just a small piece of hardware on the bottom, and there's not even a printer. There's a computer that pretends to be a printer. So it was almost nothing. And we're a very small company, only 10 people. And we had never done hardware manufacturing before. We had worked in mobile apps and websites. So this was completely new to us, a kind of an experiment. But over the next year, we worked on the manufacturing. We learned about things like this. Now, in Osaka, you have lots of manufacturing, so maybe this is familiar to you. But this kind of CAD modeling was new to us, but we gradually developed our product. We have a factory in China, which is creating the back piece of Little Printer. The electronics are in Europe. And it amazes me that we can be such a small company, but have people working in East Asia to put this product together. So we're always amazed to see what's kind of going on. And eventually, about a year later, we shipped Little Printer. The people who had ordered the product were delighted. These are all the people receiving it, posting on Instagram. Now, the incredible thing about an internet-connected product is you can keep on updating it after it's come out. You can keep on adding features. And you can learn from your customers. So when Little Printer came out, it was made for news, weather, transport. But the thing we did was we made it possible for other people to create extra features for Little Printer, extra apps for people to subscribe to. And we were fascinated to see what kind of things people would make. What they made, we didn't expect. The first thing somebody made was a coloring book for rap artists. This is not what I thought would happen. The next thing that happened was this. Somebody made a publication which comes out once a week called Monster of the Week. So once a week, it's a black and white picture of a different monster, and it would get delivered to us. And we didn't realize this was popular, except when a parent sent us this photo, which is the colored-in monster that their kid had done. And it turns out that little kids really like Little Printer. So we started making more and more things for kids. That was one lesson. Another was we started adding messaging. So in addition to subscriptions, you can treat Little Printer like a little fax machine. and send your messages, send your friends notes and little photographs. In fact, at the end of last year, I was traveling to a conference in the United States, and it was my wife's birthday, and I was very sad to be away for her birthday. It was bad for me to miss it. So I left a gift hidden in the front room of the house. And on the day of her birthday, I sent a note home to say, "Happy birthday, there's a present for you in the right-hand corner of the desk." And there was something very nice about this physical message coming into the house to give a gift instead of sending a text message, something much more personal. So again, we've created this emotional connection with the Internet of Things that wouldn't have been possible with something just on the internet. You see as well that Little Printer has a face. Every time you print, the face changes because it's printed new each time, and the hair grows. So each time you print, the hair grows. You have to cut its hair once every few weeks. Otherwise, it goes over the eyes. We tell stories with the face as well. On Valentine's Day, Little Printer, all the Little Printers in the world, they're centrally controlled. They come out with heart-shaped sunglasses. So all the printers look like this. I really like this. There's something really nice about the storytelling you can do. And I think what made it really good for me was there was one story we told where we gave Little Printer some glasses. And for 2 weeks, the character discovered some glasses. It broke them. It thought about whether to wear them or not. It wore them for a week, and then eventually no glasses anymore. And I received this email from a parent. And this email says, "My son is nearly 7 and wears glasses. The son was being teased at school by his friends because not many of his friends wore glasses." Imagine his surprise at seeing glasses on Little Printer. He's so excited that he's keeping all of the printouts that have glasses on them. And the email finished by begging us to bring the glasses back for Little Printer. This made me so pleased because the emotional connection between people and physical things is, again, this rare something. There's something new in hardware. And I know that Little Printer is a silly product. It's frivolous. But to me, when you start seeing these kind of feelings happen, it means we can do something with that later. And maybe in another 5 or another 10 years, all our products will be like this. Now let me tell you my second story, which is the community of people around me in London who made this possible. Because it wouldn't have been possible for me to take my company from a design consultancy to making this product without being surrounded by the right people. Because back in 2008 in London, there weren't really any tech startups. Nobody knew how to do this. At the time, all my friends were leaving to move to San Francisco, to go to Silicon Valley where they could do startups surrounded by other people like them. And I really missed them in London. I wanted my friends to stop leaving. I like London. I want to stay living there. In 2008, there were just a very small number of startups. And a guy named Matt Biddulph, he called the area Silicon Roundabout, and he posted on Twitter, Silicon Roundabout, the growing community of startups in London's Old Street area. Now, this was a joke for 2 reasons. The first reason is that Silicon Valley is 50 miles and has, 1 million companies. In London, what we have is an ugly roundabout. Old Street is not a nice area of town. It's a very ugly area of town. And the roundabout is particularly nasty. The other thing is that there weren't many startups. In fact, this is all the startups in East London in 2010. This list here is of 15 companies. In fact, only 10 of them are tech startups. So almost no companies at all. But there was something about giving it a name of Silicon Roundabout that meant other people started moving, and we started working near each other and meeting more people. It grew very slowly. 2 years later, Wired magazine in the UK made another map of Silicon Roundabout. This is an aerial photograph of the area, and all of those numbers are companies. They found 400 companies in 2011, which were tech startups. And we carried on growing. So now there were more people in the area. There was a venture capitalist moved in. People started hearing about it. There were some news stories. The magazines started covering the stories of what was happening in the area. But the really big turning point was when UK government got involved. And when UK government got involved, they decided to rename the area, and they called it Tech City. It was a strange conversation. I was talking to somebody from the UK government, and I said, you know, there's a few hundred tech startups in East London right now. We don't really know what to do. How can you help? And we decided that the best way the government could help was to give us attention, just to give the area a name and to tell other companies and other people that here we were. There was something going on in East London, and we should all move into the same place. And what they did is they brought together big companies. They brought together investors, lawyers. Everyone needs lawyers. It's a shame. Lawyers, talent. People started job fairs. There were co-working spaces, you know, where people can sit together because it's difficult to know where to start. And all of these people started moving in. In 2012, we had maybe 1,300, 1,300 tech startups in the area, and it just kept building. By the time 2013 came around, many companies in the area. One big change was Google bought a 5-floor building in the middle of Tech City, and they had a cafe and a space to run events and places for people to sit. So they gave away some desks to an incubator, some more desks to a company that ran a co-working space, and others to startups. And it became a place to bring people together. It's really important to have these places to come together and to talk. Google Campus, which is this building, has 25,000 members. That's 25,000 people who are signed up to be on the mailing lists. There are one or more events every single day. And these 25,000 people go to the events, they meet each other for coffee, they talk, they have their meetings there. There are 34 different co-working spaces in the area. We don't know how many startups there are. Probably a few thousand. There were 15,000 companies started in East London last year. But my favorite statistic is the number of jobs. So out of all the new jobs created in London in 2013, 27% were created in the tech and digital space. So the tech startups are making a huge contribution to what London is now. London has been very badly damaged by the financial crisis. And so the idea that entrepreneurs and small companies are able to take London to a new place, to build a new world by working together is extremely exciting. What's happening next? The strange thing which is happening next is my two stories are coming together. Inside the middle of Tech City is a very small group of companies, and we call ourselves the London Hardware Collective. And we're a group of small companies who make hardware of all kinds of different types. There's a company which makes a new kind of piano called Rolly on the top left. It's a piano with multi-touch sensors, so you can play it in a new way. There's a laser bike light, which uses a laser diode from a Japanese manufacturer. There's a 3D printing company that creates dolls. Every single one is different. There's a company that makes handheld gaming machines, where you build the gaming machine and program it yourself to teach you about electronics, and more. We manufacture in East London and East Asia. And we meet up and we swap ideas, we swap talent, we swap contacts, we talk about how to raise money and how to sell. We learn from each other. And there's not many of us. There's 10 or there's 20 companies. But we're already bigger than Silicon Roundabout was when that started back in 2008. For BERG, what we do now is we make the cloud services, the software that supports these new hardware innovators. We make the software that supports the Internet of Things and brings it to life. So we've gone from being a design agency working for lots of companies to making a product where we could make our own platform to supporting this new breed of companies and bringing them all to life. It's been an incredible journey and only possible because of the community around us. So out of this, I take two big lessons. My first lesson is that there's a new world of hardware coming. It's enabled because manufacturing is becoming easier. It's possible because we can raise money and sell online. Small companies can make hardware now, not just big ones. The ability to design hardware comes from designers and individuals using online tools. And the incredible thing is this new hardware is coming from small web and mobile companies, not from the big companies. So we'll see a change happening in the world of products and hardware, very similar to the change that happened to media with the internet or to music, where small companies, small groups come to the fore and change things instead of the big ones. My second big lesson is the lesson of Tech City, is that the spirit of optimism and entrepreneurialism is in lots of people, but it's like a spark. Individually, these entrepreneurs, the sparks just keep glowing, or maybe they die away, maybe they fade. But if you bring these sparks together, you can start a fire. You can do something much bigger than any of these individuals separately. If you come together and you build that thing together, you can create something which is enormous and exciting. I'm told that that's what you're building in Osaka right now, in which case it's very exciting to be here. Best of luck. It's a wonderful place to work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. We'll speak again later. Thank you.